Did you know that self-talk is actually one of the most powerful drugs you'll ever take? And it's being used right now to either empower you or tear yourself down. This fact is not based in professional and personal development. It actually has its roots in neuroscience. And I'm excited to not only share the brain research with you today, but I'm also going to share 5 insider secrets that the top 1% of business executives already know. So come back and join me for episode 72, where we'll talk about it all right here on the Career Woman's Secret Playbook podcast.
Are you a strong, independent woman who's passionate about her career? Then this podcast is perfect for you. Based on her book, The Career Woman's Secret Playbook, career coach Dr. Dawn Hamby shares the kind of insider secrets you can only know if you've hired, fired, and promoted employees over the past 30 years.
Ladies, I'm on a mission to help busy women just like you create a career and life you love without sacrificing your work-life balance to get it. Come join me as we inspire and motivate each other only as women can and have lots of fun along the way.
With Dr. Dawn's tools, strategies, and action steps, you can unleash your personal and professional power in a whole new way. Here's today's episode.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Career Woman's Secret Playbook podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dawn, and I'm so excited you're here today to learn a little bit more about the brain research behind self-talk, what it's actually doing to us, and how we can start using self-talk a little differently. You know, self-talk literally is that, right? Let's start there. We know this is the voice inside our head. This is that inner monologue we have with ourselves each and every waking moment. Now, I'm not talking about the person we might need to be concerned about that is hearing voices. Okay, guys, that's a completely different thing. We're talking about that day-to-day voice that we hear just as we go about our day. So what we say to ourselves is so important. It's not just important in terms of motivation and inspiration, but I wanted to share the brain research of what happens when we speak to ourselves positively and negatively. I think you're going to find it really fascinating. And since this is something that the top 1% of executives already know, I want to make sure that you know it too, and that you have these 5 strategies because it can really help you turn that ship around. If you just have this idea in the back of your mind that you know you're living your professional and personal life well, but you just have this feeling you could be bringing it up a notch, that you could be up-leveling it, that you could be kinder to yourself in 2025. And you know, here at Shop Talk, our theme is to thrive in 2025. And I definitely want each and every one of our listeners to be doing just that. So let's start with what the brain does with thoughts. So we already know that the brain produces chemicals, and these chemicals are what you need for optimal health, for peak performance, and for really unlocking your potential. Well, according to the experts and according to the research, when we speak to ourselves and the way that we speak to ourselves is going to trigger the release of those chemicals or not. For example, when your confidence is low and you are literally telling yourself that there's no way you could accomplish that goal, did you know that your brain literally shuts down the production of those neurotransmitters that would have made it possible? Negative self-talk can literally program your cells to malfunction, your genes to express disease patterns even, and your neural networks to strengthen those pathways of limitation. When you see pictures of this and watch documentaries about this, it really is fascinating. Your brain literally is lighting up or not, depending on the level of activity. So think about this, ladies. Your internal dialogue is not just mental chatter. You're literally programming your brain on what it's going to do next. And of course, that's going to affect your faith in yourself and your ability to accomplish what you set out to do. It's almost like having a biochemical control panel, and you're either programming yourself to advance on those goals and to increase your confidence, or you're actually putting it in reverse. So my challenge for you is over the next 24 hours, I want you to put the 5 strategies I'm going to share with you today in place. Be very aware and spend these 24 hours being very conscientious of what you're saying. Now, The human body abhors a vacuum, so you can't take away the negative self-talk without replacing it with something. So every time you find yourself in those familiar patterns where you're doubting yourself in a particular situation, don't just stop yourself from saying or thinking those things. Immediately replace it with something positive. So again, remember, this isn't a motivational pep talk I'm giving you today, as much as I love to motivate and inspire. This instead is not at all about that motivation. It's actually about mastering your biological programming language that controls it all. And here's something else I think is so fascinating about the human brain. When it comes to your thoughts, your brain doesn't really know and really cannot distinguish between what is true and what is not true. You know how people always say your perception is your reality? Well, guess what, ladies? It is certainly true when it comes to your brain. If you tell yourself that this is something to fear, whatever situation you're in, if you tell yourself this is something that will never happen for you, and you let that fear drive your decision making, your brain is going to react as if everything you're telling yourself is actually true, especially as you interact with others. So you know this already, because if you're listening to today's podcast, you already are showing a true investment in your own professional growth. So you're probably familiar with the fact that people say all the time that you are what you think, or you've also heard you get what you focus on, right? It's because of what's going on in your brain. And you also know that communication can be really complicated. You could have two people hear the exact same thing, and you know this is true. One person perceives it completely differently, and that person's brain is going to truly believe that that reality is the true reality. So think about that. Think about what kind of reality you're creating for yourself professionally and personally. And by recognizing that and truly mastering your mindset, you're going to be able to accomplish your career goals like never before. This is what the top 1% already know. Now, if you need a deeper dive on mindset, did you know I actually have a class about that? Check it out on our website. There'll be a link in our show notes. Now, this is also something we handle a lot for our clients on one-on-one through one-on-one coaching. So whether you take our mindset class or whether you reach out to us for coaching or need us to do a workshop or seminar for your company, just know we're here to help. This is why I put together the podcast and the YouTube channel. This is why I wrote the book initially, is because I've seen this play out time and time again, not only based on who I chose to hire, who I chose to recommend for the promotion, but also because I've seen this play out in my own life professionally, and definitely for the lives of my clients, friends, and family. So again, since your brain does not know the difference between your reality and what's really going on, just keep in mind, it's going to produce those same chemicals. It's going to release those same neurotransmitters, those same hormones, and the same proteins as if it was really happening. What's that expression? If you say you can or can't, you're usually right. Well, your brain definitely believes that. If you say you can't, your body believes it. If you say you're tired, your cells are going to act accordingly. And since your thoughts are those electrical impulses that trigger these chemical reactions, let's make sure, again, it's working for you. Let's get rid of that tendency we all have to live on autopilot. Through today's episode, you're going to be more conscientious. You're going to let go of putting things on autopilot, and you're going to be in that driver's seat. You're the one that's going to make those decisions that could really impact your career and your personal life. So let's make sure we're not letting that inner voice repeat old patterns. That voice isn't harmless, remember. It's powerful because it's literally programming your decisions, your actions, and then, of course, all of which can definitely affect your future. So let's get into the 5 strategies. These are insider secrets that the top 1% of executives already know. Number 1, reframing challenges as opportunities. You've probably have heard of that before, but do you really believe it? When a challenge just kind of kicks you in the teeth, do you really think of it as an opportunity? because I promise you, the top 1% feel bad for about 20 seconds and then they move on. It is truly an amazing skill set for you to live in the moment. Don't suppress your feelings, of course, but just deep down inside, tell yourself, okay, how can we turn this ship around? How can we see this as the rare opportunity it actually is? What is this teaching me about myself or my business or my company? They're never going to tell themselves, this is so hard. Oh, I can't do this. Instead, again, they're going to see it as potential growth. They're going to see it as a way to be innovative. They're going to see it as a way to swoop in and save the company or help the company pivot. And if you develop that skill, you're not only going to be an invaluable employee, your next promotion or your next job opportunity is truly going to be right around the corner. Strategy number 2, I want you to affirm confidence and capability. So in other words, that top 1%, they're using affirmations each and every day to create their reality. Whether they actually have a list of affirmations posted somewhere, I love affirmations and always create a set for my clients and in my workshops. Or they just may have a particular mantra that they say to themselves right before that meeting, right before that Zoom call or that presentation. They might say things like, I am capable of leading this team. We're in this together. So again, they don't feel alone. Or they might say, I know I've got the skills to overcome the obstacles. It just may require a little more research. All of these kinds of phrases and self-talk is going to help build their resilience, their determination, and their passion for what they're doing. And that's going to help them sail right through. Insider secret number 3, visualizing success. I've talked about this numerous times because there are so many entrepreneurs. I'm thinking of Sarah Blakely. I talked about her recently, the founder of Spanx. She used visualization time and time again and credits that with a lot of her success. So we can be inspired by that story. In fact, she was so nervous about her first pitch that she almost didn't show up for that meeting. So again, to really make visualization work, you've got to be really specific. If you're visualizing yourself closing that big deal, and you're thinking, you know what? If I close that big deal, I'm treating myself to this luxury car. Okay, let's say it's that big of a deal. And why not? I want you to dream big. So if your visualization includes you opening that luxury car door, slipping inside, smelling that amazing new car smell and that leather, if your visualization includes all of that, you picture yourself in that luxury car, your favorite color, your favorite style, whatever the case may be, that's going to get you more excited about closing that deal than just trying to picture your success. So again, if you've tried visualization in the past and it hasn't really worked, it just may be that you're not being specific enough. Have fun with it. Really unlock every part of your brain that you need to unlock to truly picture yourself being successful, whatever that looks like for you. All right, strategy number 4 is neutralizing those negative thoughts. Now, this does not mean that top executives never recognize that they've made a mistake. Again, they're going back to reframing it as an opportunity instead, right? Our earlier tip. So I want you to do the same. Instead of telling yourself, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, or what a mistake that was. Again, you can recognize a mistake was made, but then reframe that. Neutralize that negative thought, immediately replace it with a positive one. So instead say something like, because I've learned from this mistake, I now know I can move forward even more effectively. I'm going to be even better prepared the next time. So you see how this is a powerful tool that can help you almost immediately. All right, our last strategy today, tip number 5, is focusing on the big picture why. The highest achievers and the highest performers of any organization always come back to the big picture, their personal mission and vision statement. And even if the company has one of their own, they've created their own mission and vision statement to make sure that they're successful in carrying out what the company expects. Or if you are the company, you're the business owner, then again, make sure you're very passionate about your big picture. Why you love this business, why you love what you do, why you are more than capable of making your professional and personal dreams come true. High achievers truly believe they can make an impact in their business, and you can too. If you truly unleash that personal power you've got within you, and keep your goals aligned to this big picture why, it's going to help strengthen your resolve, especially during the tough times. And there you have it, folks. 5 powerful ways that the top 1% of executives use positive self-talk to not just be successful, but to fuel their success. And here's the thing. I want to let you know that these strategies are not just reserved for that top 1%. It's not just reserved for the C-suite executives out there. These are tools each and every one of us can use to up-level our game and our mindset so that we truly can be in the driver's seat of our own success. Think about this. What could change in your life right now if you truly did reframe all of those challenges as opportunities, if you affirmed your own capabilities, and if you stayed laser focused on your why? If you put just 3 of those 5 in place, imagine how things could change right now. So again, my challenge for you is to stay laser focused on these next 24 hours. Pick just one strategy. If you don't feel like you can handle all 5, that's fine. Small steps are powerful steps, and they still help you get to your destination. So pick one strategy, let us know how it goes, and again, really stay focused on it within the next 24 hours. And remember, we really are capable of extraordinary things. So let's think like the top 1%. Let's act like the top 1% and step into that powerful version of ourselves. Thanks so much again for tuning into the Career Woman's Secret Playbook podcast. For weekly tips, be sure to follow us on our socials at Dr. Dawn Shop Talk. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell. And for our podcast listeners, be sure to rate, review, and share this episode with anyone that you think would benefit from it. We want to continue to get our message out there and build our community of amazing professionals just like you. And as I say goodbye today, let's not forget our motto here at Shop Talk that always reminds us of the power we really do have in our day. And it goes like this. If you're not having a fantastic day, you have the power to make it one. And if you stuck with us to the very end, we love you. You know we do. And we're proud that you would invest the time in listening to the very end because strategies like this can really help you professionally and personally. So thanks again for your support in tuning in today, and we'll see you next week. I know our episode is over, but this is just the beginning. If you're ready to take action but don't know where to start, just head over to drdonshoptalk.com for lots of free resources, ways to work together, and for even more. Subscribe to the Dr. Dawn Shop Talk YouTube channel. Remember, ladies, you don't have to take this journey alone. I've got you covered. Till next time.